Today is day 3 in the Gwyneth Paltrow trial case. If you haven't heard, Gwyneth Paltrow is being sued in Utah for a skiing accident that took place back in 2016. It is alleged that she caused a fall that injured the plaintiff in the case, who is alleged to have suffered injuries such as broken ribs, bruising, a concussion, and post-concussion symptoms such as memory loss, confusion, and irritability. He's suing Gwyneth Paltrow for over $300,000. Now, this is week 2 of the trial. The judge in this case has given each side 4 days to complete their case, and Gwyneth Paltrow today is in day 3. And in day 3, she is planned to bring in expert witnesses. So I thought we'd cover expert witnesses, what they do, what they rely on, and how they can be helpful in a case. An expert witness is someone who has specialized knowledge in a particular area. In this case, it's likely to be doctors. A doctor could testify to things such as his personal experience, medical text that he can rely on. He can use diagrams and simulations to recreate the event and show how things may have occurred, such to cause specific injuries or not cause specific injuries. In this case, since the experts put on today will be Gwyneth Paltrow's own witnesses, likely her witnesses will testify that the injuries were either not as severe or not caused by the accident, because this is her defense that she's putting on. And the expert witness can be cross-examined by the other side. Here, that would be the plaintiff. And the cross-examination might be to pull apart that expert's witness testimony, but it also might be to compare it to their own expert. So both sides in this case have had multiple experts. Here's no different. So typically an expert witness is put on by the party who has retained that expert witness. Most of the time, expert witnesses are paid for their services. This is standard. That does not mean that they are biased, although an expert witness is typically not put on the stand by a party unless their testimony is going to be favorable. And after being retained, experts, such as here, medical experts, as has been retained by Gwyneth Paltrow, will use things like medical records and diagrams, or maybe even a map of just the description of the area where the fall took place. And they will review the medical records in conjunction with the description of the fall, the description of the place that the fall occurred. So here we know it was near snow on a mountain, potentially near trees. All of these factors will be used by the expert to make an opinion as to whether or not the injuries sustained were caused by this fall, and if so, whether the severity that's claimed it is accurate, and ultimately where the liability rests. And so these experts are put on by each side to explain to the jury their opinion and hopefully either prove the allegations if they're the plaintiff, or here for Gwyneth Paltrow, defend the allegations. So we'll see how this plays out. Keep in mind, Gwyneth Paltrow has countersued the defendant here for $1. That is a symbolic lawsuit, basically saying you wronged me by bringing me into this case, and asking for her attorney's fees and costs paid in return. So that's where we are today. We'll see how today's expert testimony plays out. We also might see some testimony from Gwyneth Paltrow's kids, maybe her herself or her husband, in the next day or so. If you have any comments, please feel free to provide them below. I'd be happy to answer them in another video. If not, feel free to check out the next video, which may also be relevant to you.